Okay, so we're going to be looking into this whole Honey thing today.
Yeah.
You know, that browser extension, it's supposed to like find you the best deals online and stuff.
Right, but coupons and all that.
Yeah, coupons and like,
Yeah.
is it really doing what it says it's doing? I think there's like a lot more going on behind the scenes than we realize.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, this is a pretty big deal. Like,
Yeah.
this is something that we all use
Right.
every day.
Every day. And it's like we just kind of,
Just trust it.
Yeah.
Click agree and move on.
yeah. And it's not just like a little thing. It's like,
No, it's huge.
yeah, it's a huge company.
It's a multi-billion-dollar
Exactly.
acquisition.
Yeah. So we've got some source material here, excerpts from this podcast script called Unveiling the Honey Browser Extension Controversy, The Truth Behind the Clicks.
Right.
And it's like really raising some serious questions about how Honey operates and who really benefits from it.
Like, who's winning here?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it us?
Mhm.
Is it them?
Yeah. Is it really saving us money or is it just, you know,
Lining their own pockets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially. So, for anyone who needs a quick like recap, Honey launched way back in 2012
Mm.
and like slowly gained popularity, reached millions of users.
Yeah.
And then by 2020, PayPal was like, whoa,
Huge potential there.
Yeah.
I mean, $4 billion.
$4 billion they bought them.
That's a big.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's not chump change. That's a
Yep.
big statement.
That's a statement.
Yeah.
So like what were they seeing in Honey? What was so valuable to them?
Well, I think it goes beyond just the coupon codes.
Right.
You know, they're buying access to like massive amounts of user data,
Right.
browsing habits, purchasing history.
Like they know what we're looking at. They know what we're buying.
Exactly.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
A little bit Big Brother-ish.
Yeah.
But, so, okay, this whole controversy really blew up in late 2024 when this YouTuber Megalag.
Yeah, I saw that video. It was pretty
Yeah.
wild.
It was crazy. He accused Honey of some pretty shady practices, especially when it comes to affiliate marketing.
Yeah, affiliate marketing, that's a whole
It's a whole other thing.
can of worms.
So for like people who don't know, how does affiliate marketing work?
So basically, like a lot of YouTubers and content creators use these special links when
Yeah.
they recommend products.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on their link and buy something, they get a small commission.
Okay.
It's how they like make money and support their work.
It's like a way to monetize their content.
Exactly.
Okay, so where does Honey come into this?
Well, that's where things get a little bit murky.
Yeah.
So Megalag found that Honey was basically like hijacking those affiliate links.
What?
Yeah.
Like stealing them?
Pretty much so. Like, even if you clicked on a YouTuber's link for like a new camera or something, Honey would like swoop in and get the commission instead of the creator.
No way.
Yeah, and they were doing it like during the checkout process, so it was super sneaky.
So you wouldn't even know?
You'd have no idea.
Wow. So they're like taking money away from these creators.
Exactly. And it's not just like a few bucks we're talking about.
Yeah.
For some people, this is their livelihood. It's
Right.
how they pay their bills.
So it's a pretty big deal.
Huge deal. And it raises a lot of ethical questions too.
Right. Like, are they really adding any value to the transaction? Or are they just like exploiting the system?
Right. Like, are they really finding you the best deal, or are they just taking advantage of the fact that you clicked on someone else's link?
So this whole thing hinges on this concept of last click attribution.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So whoever like provides the final link before you buy something gets the credit.
Mm-hmm. And Honey claims they're just playing by the rules, you
Yeah.
know, operating within industry standards. But their critics say they're manipulating the system to become that last click without actually providing any real benefit to the user.
It's like they're cutting in line.
Yeah, like cutting in line and taking credit for someone else's hard work.
That's not cool.
Not cool at all.
And the impact on creators is huge. We were talking about some pretty big names here.
Oh, yeah, like Linus Tech Tips.
Minus Tech Tips.
They cut ties with Honey.
Wow.
Yeah, they were like, we're not going to be associated with a company that's doing this.
That's a big statement.
It is, and it shows you how serious this is.
Yeah.
And then there's the lawsuit.
Oh, yeah, this whole thing has gone legal.
Yeah, a bunch of creators, including Devin Stone from Legal Eagle, they filed a class action lawsuit against PayPal.
Wow.
Yeah, alleging that Honey's actions violate California's unfair competition law.
So this is getting serious.
Very serious.
Yeah, so basically they're saying that Honey is profiting off the work of creators without being transparent about it or compensating them fairly.
Exactly.
So it's not just about whether they technically broke the law, it's about whether they're acting ethically.
Right. It's about fairness and transparency and whether companies like Honey should be held accountable for their actions.
So this is like a much bigger issue than just coupon codes.
way bigger.
Yeah, it's about the whole digital economy
Exactly. And how it's structured.
and who has the power.
Right. Who's benefiting and who's getting screwed over.
But whether we as users have any control over it.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so this is
It's a deep dive.
a deep dive for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about the impact on creators.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the consumers like us? How does this affect the everyday online shopper?
Well, that's what we're going to get into next.
Okay, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Like, you think about all the stuff we just click agree to online
Right.
without even really knowing what we're agreeing to.
Totally. And it's like we just assume these tools are there to help us, you know?
Right.
But in Honey's case, it's like, are they really helping us or are they helping themselves?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Like,
Yeah.
are we actually getting the best deals, or are we just getting the deals that benefit Honey the most?
Right, and that's where Megalag's investigation gets really interesting.
Okay.
He found that Honey might not always be showing us the lowest price.
Yeah, it seems like they might be prioritizing codes from merchants that they have partnerships with.
So they're like pushing certain products or brands over others.
Potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's not really what we signed up for.
No, it's like we think we're getting a good deal, but we might actually be paying more than we should.
Exactly, and that's not even getting into the whole data privacy issue.
Right. We talked about how much data Honey collects on us.
Oh, yeah, tons of it.
Like everything we search for, everything we buy.
Pretty much, and that data is super valuable.
Okay, but like what are they doing with all that data?
Well, they say they're just using it to improve user experience,
Mhm.
you know, personalized recommendations and stuff.
It's still kind of creepy, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little unsettling to think about all that information being collected and analyzed.
Especially when you consider these allegations.
Right, like,
Yeah.
are they really just using it for our benefit, or are they selling it to advertisers, or who knows what else?
It's like a black box.
Totally, and that's part of the problem. We just don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
So this whole Honey controversy is about more than just coupon code.
Way more.
It's about like the bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's about transparency and trust and who has control over our online experience.
Exactly, and whether we have any say in it.
So what can we do about it? I mean, is there any way to like fight back against this kind of thing?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the first step is awareness, you know, making people aware of what's happening.
Right.
And then maybe we can start demanding more from the companies that we use.
Like what kind of things?
More transparency, definitely.
Oh,
Like being
yes,
upfront about their data collection practices and
Mm.
how they use our information.
So, like no more hiding behind vague terms of service.
Exactly. We need to know what we're agreeing to.
And what about like regulation? Should there be laws to protect consumers from this kind of stuff?
I think that's something we need to seriously consider.
Yeah.
Because right now it feels like the Wild West out there. Companies can pretty much do whatever they want with our data.
And we're just supposed to trust them.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Me neither.
So it sounds like this Honey situation could have some pretty big implications.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Like this could change the way we think about online shopping.
Absolutely. And it could force companies to be more accountable for their actions.
So this is like a turning point.
It could be, yeah. It's definitely a wake-up call.
Okay, so what happens next? I mean, what are the potential outcomes of this whole thing?
Well, on a legal level, Honey could face some serious consequences.
Like what?
Fines, for sure.
Okay.
And they might be forced to change their business practices.
Like how?
Well, they might have to start being more transparent about their affiliate relationships.
Wow.
And they might even have to compensate creators for lost earnings.
Wow, that would be a big deal.
Yeah, it would set a precedent for the whole industry.
And what about PayPal? I mean, they're the ones who bought Honey.
Right. And this whole thing has got to be a headache for them.
Yeah, $4 billion down the drain.
Well, not necessarily, but it's definitely a hit to their reputation.
Right, because now people are looking at PayPal like, are they okay with this?
Exactly. And that could hurt them in the long run.
So it's not just about Honey anymore.
No, it's about the whole ecosystem.
The whole digital economy.
Yeah, and how we move forward from here.
Okay, so we've talked about the legal stuff,
Mhm.
but what about the impact on consumers? Like, how do we protect ourselves from this kind of thing in the future?
Well, that's what we'll explore in the next part of our Teeth Dive.
Okay, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's kind of wild, right? Like, I never thought about the ethics of a coupon code before.
Yeah?
But this whole Honey thing really makes you think about, like, all the stuff we just take for granted online.
I know, it's so easy to just assume that these tools are designed to, like, help us save money and make our lives easier.
Right.
But as we've seen, there's often a whole lot more going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, like hidden agendas and algorithms and all this stuff that we don't really understand. Exactly, and it's not always in our best interests.
So how do we, like, protect ourselves? How do we know who to trust?
Well, I think the first step is to just be aware of the problem, you know?
Okay.
Like, just realizing that these companies aren't always acting in good faith.
Right.
And then we need to start being more critical of the information we're consuming online.
So, like, don't just believe everything you see.
Exactly. Do your research, read reviews from multiple sources, and don't be afraid to question things.
Okay, so, like, be skeptical.
Yeah, healthy skepticism is a good thing.
And what about, like, trusting influencers? I mean, a lot of people get their product recommendations from YouTubers and stuff.
Right, and that's totally fine, but just be mindful of their affiliate relationships.
So, like, are they getting paid to promote this product?
Exactly. And if so, are they being transparent about it?
Okay, so look for creators who are, like, honest and upfront about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and who seem to genuinely care about their audience.
Not just trying to make a quick buck.
Right.
So basically, we need to be more conscious consumers.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so that means being more careful about what we click on, what we buy, and who we trust.
Exactly. And it might also mean being more proactive in our online shopping decisions.
Okay, what do you mean?
Like instead of just relying on Honey to find us deals, maybe we should actually compare prices ourselves.
Oh, so like go to different websites and see who has the best price.
Exactly. And read reviews from multiple sources, not just the ones that pop up on the product page.
So basically do our own research.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to walk away from a deal if it doesn't feel right.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's all about taking control of our online experience.
And not letting these companies manipulate us.
Exactly.
So this honey controversy, it's like a wake-up call for all of us.
It is. It's a reminder that we need to be more aware, more engaged, and more demanding of the companies that we interact with online.
So what's the biggest takeaway from all of this? Like, what do you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is that we have a choice. You know, we can choose to be passive consumers, just accepting whatever these companies throw at us, or we can be active participants demanding transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior.
So it's like a call to action.
It is. It's a call to reclaim our power as consumers and as citizens of the digital world.
Wow, that's powerful.
And it's something we all need to take seriously.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the honey controversy.
It was my pleasure.
This has been a really eye-opening conversation.
I agree.
And I hope it's inspired our listeners to think more critically about their online experiences.
You too.
So until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep questioning everything.
Absolutely.